Once upon a time, in the bustling village of Umuofia, there lived a poor but hard-working man named Chidi. Chidi was known throughout the village for his diligence and integrity. Despite his relentless efforts, he had accumulated a significant amount of debt over the years. His small farm barely produced enough to sustain his family, let alone pay off his creditors. Chidi's debt was mostly owed to Chief Ugo, a wealthy and influential man in Umuofia. Chief Ugo owned vast lands and numerous businesses in the village. One scorching afternoon, Chief Ugo decided to pay Chidi a visit. He arrived at Chidi's humble home, which was a small mud house with a thatched roof. Chickens clucked around the yard, and the scent of boiling yam wafted from the tiny kitchen. "Chidi!" Chief Ugo called out as he knocked on the wooden door. Chidi, wiping the sweat from his brow, opened the door and greeted the chief with a bow. "Good afternoon, Chief Ugo. Please come in." Chief Ugo looked around the modest room and then directly at Chidi. "Chidi, I've come for my money. You owe me a lot, and it's time to pay up." Chidi's heart sank, but he tried to stay calm. "Chief Ugo, I am trying my best. I work day and night, but the harvests have been poor. Please, give me more time." Chief Ugo's eyes glinted as he leaned forward. "There might be another way you can settle your debt, Chidi." Chidi felt a cold shiver down his spine. "What do you mean, Chief?" "You have a beautiful daughter, Adah," Chief Ugo said slowly. "Give her to me as payment, and your debt will be forgiven." Chidi's face turned pale, and his hands trembled. "No, Chief Ugo, that is not right. Adah is my daughter, not a payment. I cannot give her to you." Chief Ugo's smile disappeared. "Think carefully, Chidi. You owe me a lot of money, and this is an easy solution." Chidi shook his head firmly, his voice steady. "I will find another way to pay you, but I will not give you my daughter." Chief Ugo stood up, his expression hardening. "You will regret this decision, Chidi." He turned and left the house, leaving Chidi feeling both terrified and determined. Angered by Chidi's rejection, Chief Ugo began to make life even harder for him. He used his influence to ensure that no one in the village would hire Chidi. One morning, Chidi went to the market, hoping to find some work. He approached Mama Nkechi, a kind woman who often gave him small jobs. But today, she looked uneasy. "Chidi, I can't hire you today," she said, avoiding his eyes. Chidi frowned. "Why, Mama Nkechi? I have always done good work for you." She sighed. "Chief Ugo came to my shop yesterday. He warned me not to give you any work. I'm sorry, Chidi, but I cannot go against him." Chidi's heart sank. He tried several other places, but everywhere he went, he got the same response. Chief Ugo's shadow loomed large over the village, and people were too afraid to defy him. Days turned into weeks, and Chidi's situation grew dire. Not only was he unable to pay his debts, but he also struggled to feed Adah. They often went to bed hungry, and Chidi's heart broke every time he saw the pain in his daughter's eyes. One evening, as they sat in their small, dimly lit house, Adah looked at her father with concern. "Father, we haven't eaten properly in days. What will we do?" Chidi's shoulders slumped. He felt a sense of helplessness he had never known before. "I don't know, Adah. I'm trying my best." Adah took his hand. "Maybe we should go to Chief Ugo. Perhaps he will help us if we explain our situation." Chidi shook his head, but deep down he felt a gnawing doubt. Could giving Adah to Chief Ugo be the only way to save her from this suffering? The thought made him sick, but he saw no other solution. One night, Chidi lay awake, torn between his love for his daughter and his desire to protect her. Finally, he made a decision. He sat Adah down the next morning. "Adah, I have been thinking," Chidi began, his voice trembling. Maybe it is best for you to go to Chief Ugo. He is wealthy and can provide for you in ways I cannot." Adah's eyes widened in shock. "Father, you can't be serious. Chief Ugo is not a good man. I don't want to go with him." Chidi's heart ached at her words. "I know, Adah, but I am worried about your future. I cannot provide for you anymore. It is for your own good." Adah started to cry. "Please, Father, don't do this. We can find another way." Chidi hugged her tightly, tears streaming down his face. "I don't want to lose you, Adah, but I don't know what else to do." Despite their resistance, Chief Ugo's men came one evening and took Adah away. The villagers watched in sadness and anger as the young girl was led to Chief Ugo's grand house. They knew it was unjust for a little girl to be married to an old man, but they feared Chief Ugo's power and riches. Chidi received a huge dowry as compensation, but it brought him no peace. He felt the weight of his decision every day, haunted by the thought of his daughter living with a man she did not love. Adah, now living in Chief Ugo's mansion, felt a deep sense of discomfort and despair. She was determined not to let her spirit be crushed. One night, as she sat by her window, she whispered to herself, "I have to do something. I cannot let this be my life." Days turned into weeks, and Adah began to form a plan. She observed the household, noting the routines of the guards and the layout of the mansion. One evening, as Chief Ugo attended a lavish feast, Adah saw her opportunity. She gathered a few essential items and quietly slipped out of her room. Moving silently through the dark corridors, she reached the back gate. She had made friends with one of the younger guards, Nana, who sympathized with her plight. He had agreed to help her escape. "Nana, are you ready?" Adah whispered, her heart pounding. Nana nodded. "Yes, Adah. Follow me quickly." They moved swiftly through the shadows, avoiding the other guards. As they reached the village outskirts, Nana handed Adah a small bag of provisions. "This will help you on your journey. Go to my cousin in the next village. He will keep you safe." Tears welled in Adah's eyes as she hugged Nana. "Thank you, Nana. I will never forget your kindness." Adah fled into the night, determined to start a new life far away from Chief Ugo. Meanwhile, back in Umuofia, the villagers began to notice her absence. They whispered among themselves, knowing that something had changed. In time, Chief Ugo discovered Adah's disappearance. Enraged, he sent his men to search for her. Adah had found refuge in the neighboring village, living with Nana's cousin, Kelechi. She knew she couldn't stay hidden forever, but she hoped to find a way to start a new life. One evening, as she was helping Kelechi in the garden, she heard a commotion outside. "They're here," Kelechi whispered urgently. "Chief Ugo's men have arrived. You need to hide, Adah." Adah looked around frantically and saw a tall, sturdy tree at the edge of the compound. Without thinking twice, she climbed up quickly, her heart pounding in her chest. She nestled herself among the branches, her red dress fluttering in the evening breeze. The men burst into the compound, their eyes scanning every corner. "She has to be here somewhere," one of them muttered. From her perch in the tree, Adah watched them nervously. She could see the worry on Kelechi's face as he tried to stall them. The men searched the house and the surrounding area, growing more frustrated by the minute. Then, one of them looked up and noticed the flash of red among the green leaves. "There," he shouted, pointing towards the tree. "I see something red." Just as the men started to approach the tree, Kelechi's younger sister, Chiamaka, who had been playing nearby, let out a loud cry and fell to the ground, clutching her ankle. "Ouch! My leg!" she cried, writhing in pain. "I think I twisted it." The men stopped in their tracks, their attention diverted. One of them, visibly irritated, turned to Kelechi. "What's going on here? We don't have time for this." Kelechi rushed to Chiamaka's side. "She's just a child. Please let me help her." Grumbling, the men lost interest in the tree and gathered around Chiamaka. They watched impatiently as Kelechi helped her to her feet. Chiamaka played her part perfectly, wincing and leaning heavily on Kelechi.